Maurice and Agnes had been together since their secondary school days. You know those couples everyone just knew would end up married? That was them. They stayed close throughout university, completed their NYSC, and didn't waste time. They got married. But life didn't turn out the way they expected. Just a few months after the wedding, Maurice lost his job. His company downsized, and he was let go. Agnes kept applying for jobs every week, but no one was calling. Soon money ran out. Some mornings, they would drink only water and go back to sleep. That was breakfast. Agnes began selling her belongings, her wrappers, her shoes. One afternoon, she took a pair of shoes to a woman down the street. The woman looked at them and scoffed. "Ah, this one? You want me to buy for 50,000 Nigerian nairas? God forbid. Madam, these should cost 200,000 Nigerian nairas. I've barely worn them. Do you want to sell them or not?" "I can give you 10,000 Nigerian nairas," she finally said. Agnes looked at her for a long moment, then quietly nodded. "Okay, bring the 10,000 Nigerian nairas." She went home and handed the envelope to Maurice. He looked at it, then at her. "Babe, why? Why did you sell it?" "Maurice, please. It's fine. One day we'll buy new ones." That night, Maurice sat on the bed, holding her hand. "Thank you so much for everything. One day, I'll buy you everything you ever wanted. Gold, silver, just name it." She smiled. "Yeah, but just make sure they're not the fake ones they sell on the road." They both laughed, but inside Maurice felt the pain. He wanted to give her the luxuries of life, but at that moment, he couldn't even guarantee steady electricity. Not long after, Agnes found out she was pregnant. There was no money for hospital care, so she spoke to a neighbor who was a nurse. They agreed she would help with a home delivery for a small fee. There was no baby shower, no naming ceremony, just the pastor. He came, prayed, and named their baby Bella. Nobody knew what they were going through, only God. But Maurice knew one thing for sure. He had married a good woman. Agnes didn't wait for maternity leave. Not long after Bella was born, she started working again, taking up home cleaning jobs. Maurice was still searching for work, doing his best, but things remained tight. Agnes kept encouraging him. "Baby, please don't get discouraged. There's nothing too difficult for God. Remember, the Bible says we should never despise the days of small beginnings. You will rise again. Look at me, you will stand." One day, while cleaning a house, her elbow hit a flower vase. It fell and shattered into pieces. The woman of the house stormed in. "Are you blind? Do you know how much this vase cost? If I sold your whole family, it still wouldn't be enough. People just come here. Instead of working carefully, you keep destroying things." "Ma, I'm very sorry. It was a mistake." "Mistake? My foot. You'll pay for it. I don't even want to hear sorry. I'm taking it out of your salary." Agnes didn't argue. She needed the job. She went to the bathroom, wiped her tears, and continued cleaning. A few years passed. One day, Maurice ran into an old friend he hadn't seen in years. Maurice told him everything, how life had gone bad, and how he was still searching for opportunities. His friend listened and said, "Don't worry, I'll connect you to some people. Maurice, you're too intelligent to be sitting at home." And true to his word, he did. Within months, Maurice got his first real contract. The pay was good, and more doors began to open. He and Agnes were overjoyed. They moved into a bigger apartment, but the joy didn't last. Soon after they moved, Agnes began acting strangely. She would talk to herself for hours, laugh without warning, stay in the shower fully dressed. Sometimes she forgot who Bella was. It worsened. She screamed at night, hid in closets, locked herself in the kitchen. Agnes had lost her mind. They had to move her into one of the upstairs rooms and keep her there. Maurice brought doctors and psychologists. He tried everything, but nothing worked. He became both father and mother to Bella, feeding her, dressing her for school, dropping her off when the driver was unavailable. But Bella always asked the same question. "Daddy, will Mommy ever get better?" "Of course, your mom will get better. We just have to keep trusting God." "Okay, Dad." One day, Bella overheard Maurice speaking with the doctor in the living room. Doctor, so there's really no cure? Maurice asked. The doctor sighed. Your wife's case is complicated. I'm sorry. Bella stood quietly in the hallway, listening. After the doctor left, she went to her father. Daddy, you have a lot of money now. Why don't we just fly Mommy abroad? Maybe India or another country with specialists. Please, Daddy. Bella, look at me. I've tried for years. I've done everything I know how to do. But you haven't tried this one. Let's just try, please. Bella, stop. Please stop. I know you love your mother, and I love her too. But right now, we just have to care for her the way she is. He held her shoulders firmly. Now listen to me. I know you bring your friends over, and I won't stop you, but make sure no one goes upstairs. I don't want anyone whispering about her condition. Do you understand? Yes, Dad. And Bella, one more thing. I promise you I will never put your mom in a mental home. She will stay under my roof. It's the least I can do after all the sacrifices she made for me. They both cried in silence. Every time the driver took Bella to school, her heart broke watching other mothers hug their children. One day, the school announced a baking fair. Mothers and daughters would come together and bake something. All her classmates were excited. A friend leaned over to her desk. Bella, what are you and your mom baking? Bella forced a smile. I wish my mom was going to be around. She's traveling for a business trip. We'll do something later. Then came Mother's Day. The teacher asked every child to write a heartfelt message to their mom. When Bella got home that day, she didn't say much. She folded her letter, walked upstairs, and quietly slid it under her mother's door. Maurice was the one who took food to Agnes every day. He would open the door gently, set the tray down, and leave before she noticed him. If he lingered too long, she could get violent. Whenever Maurice and Bella traveled, he gave the security guard strict instructions. Only one person in that house knew the full routine of how to care for Agnes, and Maurice paid him well. Sadly, no family came to visit, as both Agnes's and Maurice's parents had passed. Years rolled by. Bella finished secondary school and was accepted into a university abroad. Maurice was proud. He booked her flight himself and saw her off at the airport. Even after she left, she never stopped calling home. Daddy, how is Mom? She would always ask. Maurice's reply never changed. She's okay. Just focus on your studies. That's what your mother would want. Bella never argued. She finished her first degree, then went straight into her master's program. Meanwhile, Maurice's business expanded. He met with presidents, closed international deals, and ensured that Bella had the best life he could afford. After graduation, Bella returned home. Maurice threw her a small welcome dinner. A few months later, she resumed work at her father's law firm. That was where she met someone, a young man named Peter, who came seeking legal representation for his new business. He was polite, neatly dressed, soft-spoken, and undeniably handsome. Bella was assigned to his case. At first, it was strictly business. Meetings, emails, contracts, discussions about costs and registrations. Then Peter invited her out for coffee. That was the beginning of something special. They began talking more, meeting often, sharing jokes, learning about each other's lives outside work. One evening, Peter looked at her seriously and said, Bella, when a man knows what he wants, he goes after it. I want to marry you. She stared at him in surprise. He smiled gently. You're everything I've been praying for. I want you to meet my mom this weekend. I've told her so much about you. When Bella visited, Peter's mother welcomed her warmly, like an old friend. She asked about Bella's family, what her father did for a living, whether she had siblings. Bella smiled quickly and changed the subject. She didn't mention her mother, not once. Later that evening, Bella sat with her father in the living room and told him everything about Peter and his marriage proposal. Maurice listened quietly. I met his mom. She's very nice. Bella added. Well, do you love him? He asked. Of course, Dad. Very much. Then let's meet them. A date was picked for the family introduction. Excitement filled the house. On the day itself, Bella woke up early to make sure everything was perfect. The chef was already preparing food, and staff were decorating the living room with fresh flowers. Upstairs, Bella was getting her makeup done. She kept glancing at her phone. Peter had texted, "We're almost there." At the gate, Peter's car pulled up. He stepped out, walked around, and opened the door for his mother. But Madame Stella didn't move. She looked at the house, then at the gate. "Peter," she said quietly, "let's go." He frowned. "Go where? We're already here." "Peter, listen. I am not entering this house. Let's go back." "Mom, please, not today. Don't embarrass me. They're waiting inside." "Peter, if you respect me as your mother, take me home. I am not in the mood for any introduction today." Peter stood there, stunned. Then, reluctantly, he got back in the car and drove off. From her window upstairs, Bella had been watching the entire scene. She saw Peter step out, saw him talking to his mother, saw the hesitation, the hand gestures, the silence, and finally, the car leaving. Confused, she called Peter immediately. He answered, but his voice was flat. "Babe, I'll explain later. Please, I'm really sorry. I'll call you back." She sat on the bed in shock. Her father came upstairs. "Bella, what's going on? Are they not coming again?" "Daddy, they came to the front of the house, then left." "What? That's irresponsible. I left an important meeting for this, and he didn't even bother to send a proper message." A few minutes later, Bella's phone buzzed again. Peter had texted, "Please tell your dad I'm very sorry. It's an emergency. I'll explain everything soon." When Peter and his mother got home, she said nothing. She simply went upstairs and sat on her bed. "Mom, why did you do that?" Peter demanded. "If you knew you weren't ready, why did you allow me to fix a date?" She didn't answer. She just sat in silence, deep in thought. The next day, she called Peter into her room. "Peter, please listen. Call Bella. Tell her I want to see her urgently." Peter sighed. "Now you want to see her? I don't know if she'll even agree." "Please, just call her. Tell her I want to see her." "It's important I talk to her," Madame Stella insisted. So Peter called Bella. She was still upset but curious. When she arrived, Madame Stella welcomed her warmly. "Bella, I'm really sorry about what happened. I know your dad must be upset, but it was important that I speak with you." "It's okay, Ma," Bella replied quietly. "Can I ask you something?" Stella leaned forward. "Bella, how is your prayer life?" Bella hesitated, then sighed. "Well, I go to church sometimes, mostly with my dad. But lately, work has been overwhelming." "You want to marry my son, yet you don't have a prayer life?" Madame Stella shook her head. "I'm not judging you, but if you don't pray, how will you build your home? Money is good, but money is not everything." Bella said nothing. Deep down, she knew the woman was right. "I like you, Bella," Stella continued. "I would love to have you as my daughter-in-law. But I need you to do one thing for me. Fast for 7 days, nothing too difficult. Just from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. During that time, ask God to open your eyes and show you anything you need to see. That's all." Bella nodded. "Okay, Ma, I'll do it." "You won't be fasting alone," Stella assured her. "I'll join you. Just don't let me be fasting while you're eating rice and chicken." Bella smiled faintly. "No problem, Ma. I'll take it seriously." The next day at work, her colleague Cordelia asked, "So, how was the meeting with your future mother-in-law?" Bella exhaled. "My sister was deep. She told me to fast and pray." "Really?" "Yes. 7 days, 6 to 12. She'll fast with me." Cordelia leaned back. "Well, she didn't ask you to kill anyone. She only asked you to seek God. Remember, they say what an elder sees sitting down. Even if you climb the tallest tree, you won't see it." That night, Bella began to fast. Madame Stella guided her, even sending her a book titled Prayer Power. It explained the basics of prayer, the types of prayer, and why prayer was important. It wasn't easy for Bella. By 9 a.m., her stomach would rumble. She confessed her struggles to Madame Stella one evening. Stella laughed gently. "Bella, it's normal. It happens. Don't give up, just keep going." Later, Stella sent her 3 specific prayer points. "Every faulty foundation in my life, be repaired by the fire of God. Holy Ghost, refurbish my foundation by fire. O Lord, open my eyes and give me understanding. Meanwhile, Agnes remained sick in the house, barely speaking. Maurice often slipped sleeping medication into her drinks to keep her calm. On the 6th day of the fast, Bella suddenly craved fish pepper soup for breaking her fast. She went to the market, bought all the ingredients, and returned home. As she cut open the fish, her knife struck something hard. Puzzled, she looked closer. It wasn't a bone. Carefully, she pulled it out, a folded, water-stained photograph of her mother from years ago, inside the belly of the fish. Bella froze. She couldn't breathe. Trembling, she called Madam Stella. "Ma, you won't believe what I found." "Calm down, Bella. What is it?" "Ma, I bought fish and inside it, I found my mother's picture." "What? But you've never told me about your mom." "Yes, Ma. She lives with us. She's been sick for years. It's hard to talk about." "My dear, this is not ordinary. But don't be afraid. This is why we are fasting. God is revealing hidden things. Trust Him. Tomorrow, there's a prayer meeting at church. Come with a bottle of water. The pastor will pray over it, and I believe you'll have a testimony." That night, Bella couldn't eat. She threw the fish away. On the 7th day, she went with Stella to church. During testimony time, people share miracles. One woman's husband was healed after she sprinkled blessed water on his pillow. Another testified that a charm on her doorstep disappeared after she poured water on it. Bella sat quietly, torn between fear and hope. Meanwhile, Maurice was in his office signing final documents when the atmosphere shifted. Suddenly, a tall, dark man appeared with a red cloth tied across his chest. A chief priest. "Didn't I warn you?" he thundered. "Your daughter is in church praying while you sit here signing deals. If she uses that water on your wife and your wife is healed, the madness will return to you. You know the agreement. Break it and you will pay the price." Then he vanished. Maurice panicked. He grabbed his keys and sped home, swerving through traffic, hands trembling. But it was too late. Bella reached home first. She went upstairs, hands shaking, and entered her mother's room. Agnes sat on the floor, muttering to herself as usual. Bella poured the water into her palm and sprinkled it over her mother's head and face. Agnes screamed. She thrashed, shouted, banged her fist against the wall. Terrified, Bella ran out and slammed the door shut, panting in the hallway. Then silence. After a few minutes, Bella opened the door slowly. Her mother was sitting on the floor, weeping. She turned to Bella and whispered, "Bella, is that you?" "Yes, Mom, it's me." "Please, if you love me, take me out of this house right now. Don't ask questions. Just go." Bella didn't hesitate. She helped her mother into the car and drove straight to Madame Stella's house. At that very moment, Maurice was speeding across a bridge when his car swerved and crashed into a streetlight. He died instantly. At Stella's house, Agnes bathed for the first time in years. She ate, drank, and finally sat upright, like someone who had just regained her identity. Then she began to speak. "Bella, after you were born, life was so difficult. Your father met powerful men who promised wealth, but they were cultists. They gave him a choice. For wealth to come, someone in the family had to go mad. At first he refused, but I offered myself. I thought I would bear it for 2 years, just until we saved enough money. But your father made another deal behind my back. That is why the madness stayed, because the money kept flowing. That room in the house, it is not ordinary. Spirits live there. I trusted your father, but he betrayed me." Bella sat in silence, listening with tears in her eyes. Stella nodded. "Madam, I'm not surprised. The first time I visited the house, I saw demons hovering over the roof. That's why I refused to enter. If my son had married Bella while that covenant was still active, the spirit of insanity would have continued. But when I prayed, God showed me Bella was innocent. That's why I invited her to fast and pray. And I'm glad she obeyed." That evening, Bella's phone buzzed. A message confirmed the news. Maurice had died in the accident. Her heart broke, but she didn't weep. She remained quiet. She and her mother never returned to that house. They moved to a new place. A year later, Bella and Peter were married in a quiet ceremony. Lesson: let's be careful of what we do in the name of love.